Okay, so there's a few things we're going to be doing today. I'm going to go over some things that I've done, but I do need to go get some paper. Hold up. Okay. Grab a piece of paper, piece of pen, a pen, paper. Let's see. Let me grab a book, something a little harder to write on. Okay. Seems to be one of my go-to books. Okay, listen. So today, what we're going to go over is what I've done so far. We're going to go over some of the past wines um, that I have brewing, right? They're fermenting, and actually pretty much done. I'm at the aging stage. There's a few options that I have, but today I'm about to pitch yeast for a banana wine. Okay, so I'm going to write that down. Now, the banana wine start date was actually Friday. Let me see what date that is. I don't know, May. I think it was May 23rd. I think it was May 23rd. It was early. It was so May 23rd, 2026 is when I did the bananas. So what did I do? I have some bananas here. Still have some left, which I think I'm gonna make another one. Okay. I have some. I'll make some banana bread or something. But I had maybe about 10 pounds of bananas, and what I did, I sliced them up. I then put them in the freezer, and then the following day, I sliced them. I opened them up, and I have two, and I separated the peel from the actual banana, the fruity part. I'm gonna show y'all that, right? I boiled it because at first I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna boil them and get anything, any microbes, anything that could be on there that's harmful. I'll boil it off instead of using chemicals. So that's what I did. And by me doing that, I started smelling like a banana Foster kind of banana split type of smell, which smelled really good, by the way. But then what had happened was I had a lot of bananas and I didn't have a container big enough. Okay, so then what I had to do was I have a bucket that is a 2-gallon bucket that I had blueberries in. Okay, so we're gonna put this out the way because we're gonna do something. I had a bucket that had blueberries already in it, so I had to rack off the blueberry into another container so I could use the 2-gallon bucket. So that's what we did, and that's what I'm about to show y'all. Okay, but when so I boiled the bananas and then I put them in the bucket. And because I didn't, I was thinking about purchasing a bigger bucket, but then I said, nah, there's no need for that, right? So I decided to use Camden tablets because I was like, okay, I have all this items in here. I was to just sterilize everything. So I put the boiled bananas with the juice in the bucket, and I had another one with just the peels. Hope that makes sense. And then I boiled them, right? No, I smushed them. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. I smushed it, and then I put a Camden tablet in. Because it's 2 gallons, I used 2 Camden tablets, and I left it there. So when you sterilizing everything that's in that bucket, that sterilizes the bucket, that sterilizes everything that's in there, the juice, the fruit, and everything. And then I also added, and I'm going to put this down. So I added a Camden tablet. I added 2. Okay, 2. I added tannin. I also added um, I added the nutrients. I added some pectin enzymes and acid blend. So I added acid blend. I really don't need to write all this down, but I'm just doing it, right? I added acid blend. I added tannin. I did not add potassium sulfate. I did put a little yeast nutrient in there, pectin enzyme. Now, pectin enzyme is very important when you're dealing with fruit, because before I added that pectin enzyme, when I boiled the bananas, it started to make a gel. There was an actual gel that I was able to see in the musk. And you don't want a gel like wine. So that's what the pectin enzymes did. So I added the pectin enzymes yesterday. So these are the things I added in yesterday. I added the Camden tablet the day before yesterday, but I went and added the tannin acid blend and the pectin enzyme last night. Okay. And that's pretty much it. I haven't pitched the yeast. We're about to pitch the yeast in a few minutes. Okay. So everything is there that I needed. We're going to look at it now. Banana wine doesn't look the greatest. I just want y'all to know that in the very beginning. Okay. But that's okay. We're going to see what it looks like towards the end. That's what's important, okay? Remember, because bananas, you squeeze in the bananas. I'm going to show you that in a second. So this is banana wine start date. The start date really doesn't matter because I haven't pitched the yeast yet, right? All it's doing right now is marinating. The juices are coming together and things like that. The actual start date of the wine making process is once it starts fermenting. So I'm going to actually have another date. But I just usually put that just so I can know what I did and didn't do. Okay, so I can know if I need to do it later. So we're going to put today's date. Is it the 25th? And that's when I'm going to pitch the yeast. And we're going to take a reading. Now, I did take a reading in the very beginning, but that doesn't matter, only because I'm about to take a reading. Okay? I did have a reading before, but I think after the juices and everything kind of do its thing, it may be a different reading than what I had. So we're about to take a reading right now. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to move this out the way. I do need this, y'all, for my... So I have some things in a bucket being sterilized. I have in a red bucket, okay? It's being sterilized, so I'm going to put it on that towel. That's why I have that towel. Things that I normally be using. I'm going to take it out of the bucket of sanitation. I'm going to move this out the way, and we're going to put that bucket right here. Okay. I did put an airlock on it just for safety measures, but because did I need an airlock on it? I did not. Why? Because I boiled the bananas. But you don't need to buy yeast to make a wine because there's something called wild yeast. Just in nature. On this wild yeast is in the air, it's on the fruit and things like that. Your items will automatically start to fermentate. Okay? So, but because I boiled it, remember, that killed off any wild yeast. But let's say I hadn't boiled it and I stuck it in here. Yeah, it would have started fermentating without me adding yeast. Okay? I just want y'all to know that. You don't have to add yeast You do add yeast if you want a controlled situation going on. But you got your wild yeast will fermentate. So there's really no bubbling. Any bubbling there is because of oxygen, like me shaking it, moving it, and things like that. Okay, now let's take a look at this. Let me raise this up for y'all a little bit. How do I raise that? Y'all be forgetting. Okay, I see it. I'm gonna raise you like that. Come on. It's locked in place. It's not beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna put this in my bucket of sanitation. Okay. It does not look appetizing. Remember, it's bananas and banana peel. The banana peels look just like this when I threw it in. So that's where the brown color coming from. Okay. My hands, I have sanitized them in the solution, but I'm gonna do it again because I've touched pins. Y'all saw me writing. Okay, so I'm gonna just do that just for the safety precautions. And then we're gonna look at this. So this is just the banana peels. This is just the peels. And then this one is the banana peels with the banana. You see it? Lots of juice. Okay, so I do have two. I'm gonna take the peels out way before I take the other out. Okay. Okay, let's take a reading. So we're gonna go in. Okay, you see that? See the color? And we're gonna dip the high. I'm gonna, uh-oh, too much. Okay, we're gonna put some more. We want this to go farther up to the top so I can read it better. And it's thick. I'm not sure if y'all can tell. I'm gonna show y'all how thick it is. Okay, let me put this on the towel. Okay, it looks like it's low, right? See that low? But it's not, it's just thick. So I'm gonna lift it up and then I'm gonna sit it back in. And now you can see how high it is. Okay. This is reading at, wow, this is gonna be a high. This is reading at 15%. It's reading at a 1.110. Y'all can see that. Y'all see the 1.100? Well, it's below that. So it's actually hitting this 10 right here. So that would be 1.110. You see that? 1.110. Okay. It's pretty thick. Look at, you see this? So let me write that down. 1.110. Okay, that's the gravity, and that does put that at about 15% alcohol if it zeroes out. Okay, so we're gonna take that. We're gonna pour that back in. Set that to the side. This is what it looks like at this point. And so I have yeast. I have various type of yeast. I just purchased some new yeast. Okay. Now, so I told y'all could buy active, just regular baker's yeast that will make alcohol, and it will go upwards 12%. I think some people say they've even gone a little higher than 12%. I have some wine yeast in here. Various type of wine yeast. Let me see. Move some things out the way. I just purchased this 71B. I heard that it's really good, and it definitely will go up to 15%. I think some people say it's going upwards 17% alcohol. Okay, so I'm going to use that because I do want this to be a strong alcohol. I have one though that I should have sitting around here already. Just don't know what I did with it. Did I put it back in here? I took a pH reading to make sure that the yeast will do well in this environment. I took that yesterday, and it was about, I guess I could do a pH reading now just to see. Now, do you have to do pH reading and things like that? It depends. If you're going to buy the money, pay the money for the fruit and things, then you might want to. If you're going to do fruit juices and things where it don't cost you as much money, you may not want to do this. But this is my pH strip. Okay, I'm going to show you how that works. You just take a strip out. I'm going to take 2 out just in case. Okay. Now, from my understanding, the yeast like it around, they say between 3 and 5 on the scale. Now, do I know that to be a fact or not? That's what I heard, okay? I just need a little drop. Okay, I just need a drop placed on this strip. Now, we're going to let that drop run across the colors. I'm going to see if you can see that. Okay. And then what we do, we take the strip and we, okay, I got to go in the sanitizer if I'm going to use it again. We take it and we try to match it like this. So it's too dark for that, too dark for that. It's about 4. I'm putting it at 5. You see that 5 right there? It's between the 4 and the 5. Might put a little acid blend in it. Make it closer towards the 4. Put a little acid. Let's put a little acid in. So let me show you. For those who may not know, this is the original one. This with no juice on it. This is the one with juice. You see, it has changed. Okay. This one has more of a blue. This one should be probably like a neutral. Okay. And depending on how much acid and things like that. Okay. You see the difference? This is the one that has nothing on it. This is the one that does. So it did change. It's at a 5. I'm putting it between a 4 and a 5. I'm going to keep it there. I could add a little acid to it. Make it a little more acidic. But we're going to see. The yeast should be good in that environment. Okay, so we're going to just put this back in this little case. I'm good for keeping boxes. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I really don't need the box because everything I need with this is encased in this. I just have this thing with boxes. Until they start getting dirty and stuff like that, then I get rid of them. Okay, but I put it back in this box. Okay, here go my yeast. And it tells me that it wants me to pitch these first. I'm going to pitch it in some, in its own juice. Okay? So let me grab that. What did I do with it? Oh, okay. It's in a solution. Okay, it's in the solution. So I'm going to take some of this, what you call him hit the floor, didn't it? Yes, it did. Okay, let me I never picked it up. It's actually still on the floor. That's crazy work right there. I'm gonna wash it and sterilize it really quickly. Don't do as I do, okay? Try not to have your stuff falling. Okay, I'm gonna take some juice. I kind of put some juice in there, and I'm gonna hydrate the yeast using it. It'll be to its own environment that it's gonna be in, right? Can't do worse than that. We're gonna bring this down a little bit. I don't think it needs to be so high. Move this off the way. I keep all my stuff in a big bag. So I don't be losing anything. And now to be honest, I should just do like a half a packet. But, you know, I'm going to be honest, I like to do this on a budget, okay? A half a packet or even a whole packet. Please don't use a whole packet in this. Unless you're going to waste it, then of course you can. But a fourth of a packet should work well. I'm going to... What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a half a packet in, okay? It wants a little warmness, room temperature. Let me see what this temperature is. That's a little cool to touch. So I'm gonna get some warm water. I'm gonna put this back in. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me grab some warm water. I don't feel like I stuck myself. I'm not sure what happened. Get this water a little warm. So I'm assuming this yeast is like any other yeast that I've used baking wise. It likes sugar and it likes a warm environment. Not too hot, definitely. This is to kickstart it. Okay. So I'm gonna put some, can y'all see me? I'm gonna put some yeast in there. Now, what happens with yeast is a living organism, okay? When it comes out of its state, depending on what state it's in, they start building a colony. So it starts multiplying. And that's why it doesn't take a whole lot of yeast. But you do want to try to put enough yeast where the little yeast don't struggle in the job. So you want to try to put enough where it can do the job, if that makes sense. But you could add a little bit of yeast and it will eventually eat through everything. Okay, it will build its colony. It smells yeasty. It actually, it has a smell to this. Now that makes sense with I don't know if anybody ever, because I look at a lot of videos and what they tell me is that this yeast brings out some floral notes in your wine. It brings out the fruitiness, is what this one does. That's what they say. If you're using fruit, they say this is a great one but it almost has I'm smelling kind of like it's something there. I'm trying to picture what it is. I have a good sense of smell and taste, okay? I'm trying to recognize. It's almost like a bacon, like a, you know how what they do with bacon? I guess they smoke it, kind of. smell like a bacon, possibly. It's something that I smell that. But that's the yeast. Okay. You hydrate it. I can give it 10 minutes and we'll see if it foam up. But I see bubbles already being produced. Okay, I already see a couple of bubbles. I see some movement with the yeast. What happens is the yeast, you'll see sink down and start moving around. Like, there's really no sugars in here. I could add a little sugar. Let's do that. I don't have much sugar left. I might not have any sugar left because I really haven't gone to the store yet for me. I'm gonna throw this in there. Give it something to chunk on. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I did not write down everything I need to. So why is that brown? I forgot to tell you why that's brown as well. So I added brown sugar and white sugar to this. And if I'm correct, I use 2 pounds of each. Yes, let me write that down. That is why that brown color is there. I use a brown. My paper got wet. And y'all, I have an issue. When things get wet or if I make a mistake in my writing, I end up starting all over. So I'm going to end up rewriting this again. But anyway, I did use 2 cups. I used 2.5 cups of brown sugar and 2.5 cups of just white sugar. I'm going to just put sugar. Okay. I'm going to have to rewrite this. And yeah, and that's all I added to that. Okay. And that's why you see the brown. Okay. Okay, so that's the yeast, and we're going to pour the yeast in. This is called pitching the yeast, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to push this down. And for about a week, actually, I'm gonna take those peels out of there, and I'm going to let them ferment for maybe, once the fermentation starts, I actively see fermentation. I'm going to take the peels out in 2 days. And I'm going to leave the fruit in for a week. So I want the actual bananas to still continue to ferment for about a week. Okay. We're going to just pour this in. Well, let's give it some time. Let's give it some time. Let's see if we're going to bubble up. I don't really have any sugar to feed it. Unless I put brown sugar in it. I ran out of sugar. Give it a little sugar to feed. Okay. There we go. They really just want you to hydrate it. I don't know if I could bloom it or not. I might actually put a little more. How much of that packet of? We want this. We don't want this to struggle. There's some, and by the way, because I am a baker, I know what yeast look like. And I always wondered, okay, how are they coming up with these strands of yeast that they say they are creating? Why some strands will go higher than others? So I'm looking at this yeast, and this yeast, they look like there's something added to the actual yeast. Okay. I see 2 types of grains, 2 type of, when I sprinkle that on, I see something that's light, even in the packet. I see actual yeast, and I see something sitting on the side of it. That might be their trick. Yeah. Like a sliver or something else. Which makes sense, because like somebody said who I do listen to, they say yeast can't read. Okay, and neither is the thing that's on side of it boosting it. Probably a nutrient, which allows it to go higher in ABV. And we're going to pitch this. Okay, we're going to put that in. This is going to be a banana wine. I want 1 gallon. This is a 2-gallon bucket. I'm looking to get 1 gallon out of it. Anything over that, I will decide what to do with it. We'll bottle it up, maybe add different flavors, okay? So we're going to swirl this around. We want to give it some oxygen. Yeast like oxygen. Splash it around a little bit without making a mess. And we're going to come back and check this. I'm going to check on it in the morning and make sure the bags stay submerged. Okay, because once the fermentation starts happening, it starts pushing things up. Fermentation starts pushing, it's like gases, start pushing things up, so those bags will get forced to the top, and I will have to come and push them back down, okay? And so you don't want your bag to stay out of the liquid long enough to dry, which I don't think that'll be the case. This is high enough. You do want to have some head space because I don't want this to come out of the bucket in any way. And okay, so we're gonna cap that off, which let me do that now. The top is sitting in solution. Okay, so the top was sitting in a solution to make sure that it's clean, and I'm gonna put the top on. And the solution is also already in the airlock. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is tomorrow I'm gonna come and add some yeast nutrient to it to help it do its thing. Okay. Just to give it a nice start, help it out. Okay. So that's that one. Now let's go over. That's pretty heavy from that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna put this here. Let's talk about this blueberry wine that I did. Okay, we're gonna take a look over here. I'm gonna have y'all come over here. Let's move this all out the way. I'm gonna put all of this in the solution. I'm gonna empty that. We're gonna put that here. No, okay, we're gonna move you over here a little bit. Okay, give me a second. Don't want the phone to drop. Okay, my house smells like alcohol right now, and I think we might have to open some windows. or it might be this fruit. Okay, so these are the blueberries that was in. Remember I told you I had blueberries in that bucket. Washed it out so I can put the banana wine in there. Just excuse the other stuff. This is going to go in my compost outside in my garden. That's why it hasn't been thrown out yet. Okay, but look what happened with the blueberries. They got drawn up. And yeah, that's done. And I'm gonna throw all of this in the compost. So that's why it's still sitting here. But this smells like alcohol. That might be why my house smells like alcohol. Might be this. Okay, so I'm gonna empty this out. I was gonna do it today, I'll do it in the morning when I go out. But let's take a look at the blueberry wine, at where it is. Because I racked it. Re-racked it. I sweetened it a little bit. Let's take a look at it. Ooh, it's heavy. I'm coming. Don't want it to slip out my hands. Okay, let's bring you down. You can see my notes. The reason you take notes is mainly I want to know the APV, the ABV in the end. When I make a label to put on the wine bottles, I want to know exactly what type of wine it is, if I added anything else. Oh, I do want to add, something else to the banana. I'll do it later. I want to add some raisins, some golden raisins to it. Okay, I'm going to chop them up. Just a handful. So here, my blueberry wine started May 11th. Okay. I pitched the yeast on the 13th. If I use Camden tablets, you need at least 24 hours to 48 hours. Okay, so I did use Camden tablets, and that's why. So the starting date of, and I added some grape juice to it because my blueberries were dried. So I had to hydrate them. So I used a little bit of grape juice to hydrate them. Okay. I added a little peel zest of a mandarin orange. Okay. And the starting gravity was at 1.100, which would have put it between 11 and 12% alcohol. Okay. Then on May 16th, what you need me? Go ahead. Okay. On May 16th, I did another gravity reading and it went to 1.070. Okay. On May 22nd, I did a reading and it zeroed out. It went, that means it was at that, it dried. So I added 3 cups of sugar. Okay. And then I took a reading. I added the cups of sugar and it went to 1.022, which is another additional 5%. And then I racked it to a 2.5 gallon on the 24th. And that's what this is. And you see it. So now where we at is we took it out the bucket and it's still fermenting. Can you see the little bubbles there? It's still, when I racked it yesterday, did I take a reading? I did not take a reading when I racked it. But it didn't matter because I had just added the sugar like the day before. So that, I took a reading on the 22nd. Okay. So that's why I didn't take a reading yesterday. But if this goes all the way dry, then this will put this about a 17% alcohol. Mama, I'm talking on here, okay? No, I mean, you good? Okay, so this will clear out. Now there's a couple of things I could do. I am gonna let it go all the way to fermentation. I want it, if it goes dry, good. If it doesn't go dry, that's okay too. If it does go dry, then I'm gonna back sweeten it again. I'm gonna push this as far as it can go as far as fermentation. In other words, I'm gonna keep adding sugar until fermentation stops. And the reason it will stop is because the yeast will no longer be able to process anything. The alcohol level will have gotten so high. That is called where you just let it do what it want to do. Whatever this wants to do, I'm gonna let it do. Okay, I'm gonna keep feeding it until it decides it can no longer do what it wants to do. And then I'm going to let it clear out and settle without chemicals. Now, the thing is, though, if you, let's say you want a certain percentage, like with the banana wine. The banana wine, I'm doing it a little different. I knew which percentage I wanted, so I sweeten it to that percentage. And then when it gets there, when it stops, then I'm going to stop it from fermentating, and then I will back sweeten it once it go dry. Okay? Not only that, but I'm going to be making different flavors. This will become different flavors as well. Will be a peanut butter jelly wine. Some of it going to be peanut butter jelly wine. Some of it will be just, I think I did this with Concord juice. So the different type of Merlots and different type of wines is based on the actual grapes that is used. I use the grape juice, but they say that it's Concord grape juice. So that's how that works. Okay, it's a lot of little things. This is a 1.5 gallon. I should be able to get definitely like 9 bottles of 9 bottles of wine. Half of them will be peanut butter and jelly. And you're probably saying, well, Bomb, how you going to make peanut butter jelly wine? This wine will taste like a peanut. When you drink this wine, you're going to be like you just ate a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Less the yeast part, the bready part. That's what I'm striving for. Okay? And I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to do that when it get to that stage. Okay? I'm actually going to back sweeten it with the peanut butter flavor. Okay? And the other side, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. Okay? What's going on? Hey, ABT? Oh, you found it? Oh, yeah, you need to, you don't have to take the fruit off. Wait, what you had, cherries? And your cherries had no pit in it, right? You took the pit off. Yeah, I needed my container. Okay, that's why. But you could leave the fruit there, but I wouldn't leave it too long. I'm not sure what cherries taste like. That's what I know what a cherry tastes like when it's in, when it's in a jar. I have some cherries. I have some dried cherries. I'm gonna make a cherry wine as well. But when it gets to the color that you're looking for, you can take it off. If you having a problem, remember, as long as that fruit there, you're gonna have to keep punching it down. That's the drawback to keeping the fruit there, is that you got to keep punching it down and making sure that it stays moist. The longer it stays in there, the more issues can end up happening. Okay, so make sure but other than that, you can rack it off, because your fruit was in before my fruit was in. I think your fruit was in almost a whole week before I even did mine. So yeah, it's probably got all the flavor that it can get out of there already. So what I would do is I would rack it and then press the fruit. Okay. Now I heard there's other things I could do with this pressed fruit. Now it's too late now because it's been sitting out all night. But I'm gonna look into what we could do with the pressed fruit portion. Okay. I don't know much about the cherry. I'm trying to picture the flavor of a cherry, and it says anything that can make it bitter. Like oranges can get bitter. The peel of these bananas, that can start getting bitter. That's why I separated some of it. Now, from my understanding, I did look at a few videos of people making banana wine, and what they did was some people just used the banana portion, right? The fruit portion without the peels, and when they made that wine, it came out real pretty in color and things like that. but the taste, they say the complexity wasn't there. So then they did another one with where they used the banana and the peel, and it added a different type of flavor. And then there was somebody who did partial, where they kept the banana fruit in longer than they kept the peels in, if that made sense. So and then they found a balance in that. But it depends. Look, you're making your own wine, you make it the way you want, but you definitely want to make sure you don't want none of those fruit to dry up and start getting mold at the top. You won't have to worry about it. I can leave this sit for 1 year or longer, sitting right in this thing without touching it. Only thing I will have to check is make sure that this lock has water in it. And bam, I can let it sit and not do anything to it again. That's because I took it off the fruit. I don't have to worry about doing nothing to it. So it's going to sit and clear. So this will sit around for about 6 months. In this container that I have it in, I'm gonna leave it there for about 6 months. Definitely 3 months. By Christmas, yeah, by Christmas. That's why I have so many wines going. Okay, so we have this one. This one is done. That's my Concord Welch's Juice wine. And y'all can see no bubbles is happening. No bubbles. And I can rack this, which I am going to do. I should do it now. And get it off the lees, right? Because the lees can cause off flavors from the yeast can start building in there. Fermentation and stop. Now this is my only thing. I wonder if I add more sugar. I'm gonna do a reading. I'm gonna do a reading right now. Cause I added sugar. I added May 22nd. I added 2 cups of sugar. We're gonna see what the reading is. We're gonna do that now. As a matter of fact, let's do that now. So this is another way of being able to tell if fermentation has stopped, right? Because you never know if fermentation has stopped by just looking at it. Because if I have to back sweeten this, fermentation can start up again once sugar added. But I did add more sugar, and if it zeroed out, then that means it went dry. We're gonna check now. Okay. Let's see. Squeeze. I definitely know this is definitely at 15% alcohol because it dried on me already before. Okay, when it went dry the first time, it was already at 15%. I added more sugar. It did not go dry. Okay, y'all see that? Wait a minute, let me show you. So now what I know is that this is a sweet wine. It's not dry. I'm gonna show you how I know. Put that there. Okay, we're gonna take that and we're gonna spin it. Okay, y'all see how it didn't go dry. Up here is at the one, dry is way up here. Okay, it still has sugar in it. That's why I know it's sweet. I back sweetened it, and I said if it go dry, I would back sweeten it again. When I added sugar to it, it ended up going as far as the yeast will allow it. So let's do the reading, and then I'll do the mathematics on it. It took it to, let's see where you at. it took it to 1.0. Is that a 30 or 20? What that is? 30. Oh, so that's what it was when I back sweetened it. But 1.030. That's where it is right now. 1.030. That means it when it went dry, because it did go past, it went way up here. It went all the way to the 0.990. Okay. Then it was so dry, I sweetened it to taste. And then I took the reading. I added 2 cups of sugar, and it tastes good. And then I said, okay, if it ferments some more, we'll test it. So this is an exact 15% alcohol. And it should be sweet. And it's ready. Okay. There's no more fermentation that will happen with this. And I think I might get it off the lees. Let me think about it. Now, so this the problem with this. This is not a gallon of juice. Okay? This is not a gallon. And that means I have to put this in something that is equal, because you don't want head space. You don't want a lot of head space. This is perfect. But once I take it off the leaves, I'm not sure how much leaves is in there. I can't see through this bottle. So I'm gonna rack it. Let me get everything. My racket. It's not big enough for this, right? It's not big enough for one of these. This is 1.5. I do have a gallon. I do have a gallon. Let me see. I didn't know I was gonna rack, so I'm gonna add my racking stuff to my bucket. Okay, get that cleaned up real quick. I'm gonna put you in there, you in there, the tubing and the siphon. Oh, I think I have another one of these upstairs, I think. Which means I'm going to have to clean it. And then we're going to rack this off of the leaves, see how much we have, and then go from there. Now, that's the thing, right? You have to, the thing you need to worry about is head space when you go into your second racking, right? Or should I say your first, when you get out of fermentation, go into conditioning, you do have to worry about head space. That's when air is not your best friend, okay? Air is not your best friend. I do have, oh wait, I had a smaller one. I had one, it was down here. Let me see. I hope nobody threw my stuff away. We're gonna go look for that in a minute. So this is my water wine. Okay, we're gonna deal with this one in a minute. This one is gonna sit. I'm probably gonna put it on top of the refrigerator and let it sit there for a few months. This is what I did yesterday. That's why there's no tag for it. I turned water into wine. Did I do this yesterday? Yes. Okay. It looks this color because I added little lemon juice. So it's water, lemon juice, and sugar and yeast. Okay, it's still at the beginning stages where I take it and I shake the bejesus out of it. Okay, And then I let that out. And we waiting for the yeast to start. So I just put the yeast in here yesterday. Just yesterday, okay? It has been about 24 hours. It may not even have been 24 hours yet, because I do things in the middle of the night, okay? So I have 2 of these. And listen, this is the way to go for you winemakers who like sweet wines and things like that. You just like to have a drink here and there, or make you some water wine and then flavor it later. I have some root beer extract, strawberry extract. I just purchased some peanut butter extract. I have some vanilla extract. I have almond extract. The list goes on and on and on. You can add mint, and you can just make what you want from this. You add Kool-Aid to this when it turns into the wine, and all of that. You just need yeast and sugar and a container. Okay. This gonna be my son's. I'm making this for him, but he could play with it how he want. You know. You don't even have to buy much of anything. You just keep the same caps and tops until you're ready to bottle. Okay. I'm cheap, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going the cheap route. Now, I also have to say I have put money into this hobby already. The things that were necessary, things that make it a little easier for me. Example would be this racking stuff that I just bought. These, I didn't want to buy these containers because I wanted to just use these. But then I had to buy the bogs that go in it, which I am about to order today, that fits these. So if you want to look into being able to use these type of bottles, the number 10 is what you need to fit. I had to find out what one fit, because I did buy one and it didn't fit. It was too small. It would have fell right in. Okay, number 10 fits in these type of bottles. Number 10. And you get like 6 of them for $10. And I think it, yeah. So anyway, I had to do that little research to find out. So there's yeast in here. I do see a little fermentation. I'm gonna be honest, in my house is cold. Okay, my house is cold, so my fermentation in my house will be slower than most people. It's about 45 degrees in my house. Okay, I'm hot and everybody else is cold. Okay, and I'm the queen of the house, so I'm not being hot. Okay, they need to just put jackets on, which they do. They walking around this house in jackets and sweatshirts and stuff, and I'm naked because I'm hot. Okay, it's easy to put stuff on. It's hard to take things off because I can't get more naked than naked. Okay, and so that's just how it's gonna be. But back to my point. My point is fermentation is happening in my house slowly, and that is due to the cold. Okay, but in your home where you probably gonna be like a normal person, okay, and keep it about 70, maybe 69, you know what I mean, somewhere up in there, you're a normal person, you're a normal individual, then your fermentation gonna happen way before my fermentation. But as long as it's steady, it's okay. As long as it don't stall on me, it's okay. Okay, a steady, slow fermentation is okay. So I have 2 of these, but I wanted 3 of these. So I'm gonna do, but I can't do another one because I don't have any more sugar. And hubby's sick, so he didn't go out today. Yeah, he's sick. Okay. So I'm gonna put this. I have 2 of these going. We're gonna have fun with these, y'all. We're gonna have some absolute fun. You know, if you don't like if you don't like alcohol because you're not a drinker, like myself, I'm not a drinker. It doesn't mean that you can't make something that you will like. It doesn't have to be high in alcohol content, right? You could have something that's 5% like a beer. Okay, you can even make it lower than that if you want, like a daiquiri. Let me see. I think we have a daiquiri in here. I don't know what the percentage is. Let me check it out. Oh no, this is not what I thought it was. I might be a little, I wasn't thinking. Huh. I just realized this is what I thought it was all these months. Let's see. That's crazy. Let's see. Let me look at the freezer. That is crazy, yo. Nope. Okay. I'm not sure what a wine cooler percentage of alcohol is. I guess I could look it up, right? I thought I had a wine cooler in the refrigerator. For months, it's just been sitting there. And come to find out, it's one of my grandson's apple juices. For months, I've been looking at it. Look, I thought this was one of them daiquiri packs. This how they used to come packaged in the liquor store, where you put it in the freezer, and then that's crazy. This is apple juice. Oh, and by the way, you can make cider out of apple juice, which is wine. It's called cider because it's made with apples. But you could use apple juice and make this. 100% juice is where you want to go. This is blueberry. This goes on the blueberry one. Okay, I'm going to have to re-stick. You don't have to keep notes like I'm doing. I'm doing it because I am going to be bottling. And I'm going to be giving some of this stuff away. Right? For testing. That's one of the main reasons. Other than that, you just get you some juice, shake it up, put some sugar in it, and then some yeast, and let that thing do its thing for about 30 days. 3 weeks to 3 to 4 weeks. And this is drinkable right now. Right now, okay? But we're gonna see how pretty I can get it. We're gonna clear it up. I could put something in it right now, and tomorrow or in 2 days it'll be perfectly clear. Let's look and see how clear it is though right now. But no, I'm gonna rack it. Let's look. We're gonna rack it. Racking means taking it and putting it in another bottle. Okay, that's all. I had a smaller jug. It's very important that the head space. Okay, I'm gonna show you. It's not important when you're making the wine in the beginning. It's not really important to have. See, this is fermentating. This still fermentating. Okay, let's see. See all that space I have there? This is during the fermentation stage. And the head space don't really matter as long as you have enough. So you have to have enough so stuff don't overflow and do all of that. But when I rack this into something else, it has to have as least of a head space as possible. Okay, this looks like it's also stopped. I'm gonna take a test of this too. See what we're gonna do with this. Let me smell it. Remember, it was smelling bad at one point. It's still fermentating. I can see it. I have 2 of these. And I could rack this into that 1.5, my other 1.5. They're a little different. I have this one I put in golden raisins, and the other one I just put a stick of cinnamon in it. But this is hibiscus. Hibiscus, and they're pretty much the same except I threw some golden raisins in this one, which I need to take that off. The raisins looking kind of, and since I can't shake it, let me look in there. It smells good though. It was, remember last time I was telling y'all that it was smelling a little funky. Had a little funky smell to it. It was like, I tried to be as honest as I could. It smelled like a little poopy. The smell is gone. And I think, remember, I think I told y'all what the problem was. I think my yeast was struggling. And so that's the thing that can happen if your yeast is starting to struggle, or you keeping the yeast is struggling. It puts off bad odors. I did the research. That's how I found that out, because I was gonna throw that away. I was like, oh my god, it smelled like poop. Okay, but it doesn't smell like that anymore. What did I do? I put some. So oh yeah, so I found out that the yeast that came with my kit was no good. It was no good. So yeah, but I could still see the fermentation happening here. Let's show you. I never had an airlock. I'm just have a cap on that's lightly put, just so the gases can come out. And let's see if we can take a look and see if y'all can see. If you look, you can see the bubbles. I mean, fermentation is still happening, which is okay. And that's because I added some sugar. No, I did not. I did not add anything to this. I forgot I left this one alone. This started May 8th, but it was struggling. Okay, so I can't even go by that date. May 11th is when I added those things in, and I added the yeast. I need to take a reading of this because and see what this is, but it's still ferment. So I don't have to add anything to it. We know it's not dry because there's still sugars there that is still eating. Yeah, this definitely should be done by now, at least once. It should have went dry, but it was struggling. It was struggling. It was, both of them was struggling. Okay, because I used the same yeast in both. Let me go grab the other one. And here's the second one. Hibiscus. And there's a couple of leaves that got least that I put in this one. I put a cinnamon stick in here like a couple of days ago. Did I add that to the... I know I did it, but what is this? Mr. Welch's. I gotta keep up. See, that's the problem when I don't have... Okay, so this one is the hibiscus. 10% added one. I added 1 cup of sugar in this one. Suppose these got mixed up. Okay, no. This one got the raisins in it. Okay, so I did add a cinnamon stick. So I'm gonna write that. And that was May 24th. I added a cinnamon stick. And that's all. That's all I did. I just went and dropped the cinnamon stick in there. I kind of see it looked like it kind of broken up a little bit. And it wasn't a whole stick. Let me show you what I added. I think I have them in the refrigerator. I see no bubbles. Which is kind of crazy. I'm gonna have to see what's going on with this one. Because I just added 2 cups of sugar to this on the 22nd. That's 2 days ago. Is that 2 days ago? So I took a cinnamon stick that I just purchased. I broke it in half, which is hard to do. Oh, no, it's not that way. It was hard. And I put something like this inside of there. Okay? That's what I did. Okay. Let's do a test or reading. We're going to do a reading on this because this is not doing anything. I added sugar to this. And I don't see it doing too much anything right now. We're going to look at it, see where it's at. Okay? Uh-oh. that went dry again. No, wait, it looked like it's almost dry. I'm gonna show it to y'all in a second. No, it's not dry. Oh, wait, it might be. Okay, let's take a look. Let's put this over here. Okay. Let me back. We're gonna spin it. Oh no, it did not go dry. And where was it? Hibiscus, it read at 1.020. Huh. I'm gonna do a taste test of this, y'all. I added 2 cups of sugar. This was, it smelled okay. It was stinky. Look, it was, I'm not even gonna, it was stinky, but it smells good right now. Let me grab a glass real quick. Okay, so we're gonna do a test. Okay, we're gonna do just we're gonna look at some clarity on it. The color is pretty. It's not clear at all, right? Which it wouldn't be. It just stopped fermenting. I don't see any bubbles, so it is at the same level it was, but after I put the sugar, so it must have ended, but it stalled on me. So let me taste it. Oh, that tastes good. That tastes good. And by the way, it doesn't taste like hibiscus anymore. It just takes on a different flavor. It is sweet because I made it sweet when I added the sugar to it. The only thing I was concerned with, remember I said it stalled. At least I thought it stalled. Wait, let me see, did this zero out? Wait a minute. Wait, is this the one? No, it's the wrong one. Okay, wait a minute. So this is this one. So May 16th, it read at 1.060. May 22nd, it read at 1.020. I only added 1 cup of sugar. And it's still there. So it did ferment. It started at 1.080 and it went down to 1.020. So I could tell you, based on that, I'm gonna say that this did stall. It did not zero out because it was only supposed to go to 10% alcohol. And definitely all yeast can go to 10% alcohol. Okay. It tastes good. And I'm not going to push it anymore. I'm not going to add any more sugar to anything to it. I'm going to put it under airlock though, just in case. But yeah, this stall, it seemed like it got stuck. It tastes good though. It's stuck, but it did ferment. Okay. It did ferment. It tastes good. I'm gonna get it off the leaves, and then we're gonna rock with it. It looked like I couldn't get this. I didn't get this one to kick back start. I could tell you why. I think I know why I didn't get it to kick back up, and I think mainly because I was scared to shake it up. I was scared to shake the sugar that I put into it. Even though I put new yeast in it, I was afraid to give it a shake. But I bet you if I shake it, if I stir it up, I bet you it'll start fermenting again. I did kind of shake this one up better. This one I was afraid. It tastes good. We're going to leave it where it's at. I can't add them together because this one's still fermenting and this one isn't. Um, hey, you want to taste something real quick? No? It's right here. No, just like a taste, just like a, put it on your tongue. See if it's sweet enough. Okay. I'm gonna do the. I can't eat that spicy stuff, boy. Oh, I know. Your daddy might like it. You had another one over there. I don't like that. Well, I've never tried it. Is it real hot? Oh, how you gonna give me something you ain't never had? Ouch. Okay, yeah. So anyway, I'm definitely gonna rack this into something. What you need? Oh, yeah. Let's read on there. I'm gonna rack this into a. I want to put this in bottles, to be honest. Oh. Okay. This tastes good. It does taste good. Let me see. Actually, it tastes even good for me. I bet you the percentage is low. I could smell the alcohol, but it's not as strong. And I can feel the alcohol in my chest, though. And it smells good. But I bet you the ABV is low on this. So we're gonna, even I could drink this, and I don't like alcohol. It tastes good too. What did I? It was this one, right? Oh man, when I put that cinnamon in it, it's like you could tell. Like if you was drinking, you wouldn't be able to tell that it's cinnamon in it. But only because I know it's there because I put it there, right? But it has a substance. It added something to it. It tastes good. Good, babe. You got to go tomorrow? Oh, okay. So what y'all think I should do? Listen, I could give this a little shake, and maybe fermentation will kick back up. But to be honest, I like this. It smells good. It was smelling like poopy, like a week ago. It was smelling like the toilet. Okay, it smells good right now. I'm going to let me think what I need to do with this. Cause, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna add potassium sorbate, right? That'll stop it from fermentating. That's the only thing that will ensure that this doesn't do any fermentation anymore, because I know that this will if I shake it up. I think the sugars that I added is at the bottom. And remember I said it stalled on me. That's why I was smelling bad. It did start fermentating again, but it did not go far enough. It didn't even reach its potential. It went from 1.801, I'm sorry, it went from 1.080 to 1.020. The yeast I used was the Red Star Premier Coat Blanc, or however you say it. I used it. Remember I told you it wasn't working. That stuff was dead. So I then added some regular bread yeast to get it to kick start, because of the smell. I was like, something is wrong. So I added a little bit of that just to see, and it did start fermenting. Definitely both of those would have taken this to 10%, but neither did. And it's my fault. I know it's my fault. But the problem is I like it. I like this one, and so I'm gonna keep it. But in order to make sure it doesn't start re-fermentating again, right, at all, at no point, because I could bottle this and then somebody shake it up and then it starts fermentating, right? It starts the process all over again. And we don't want that. Not only that, but it's so low. Now, okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to add potassium sulfate, and I'm going to kill off the yeast. Well, it doesn't really kill off the yeast, but it will knock the yeast down so it doesn't start to do anything again. It does kill off yeast, actually. So that's what we're going to do with this one. And I'm not going to add. Now, this is the thing. I could add some different flavors to this, too. But what I'm going to do first, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to rack it. I'm going to add that. Let it sit for a while. And we're going to see if we can get this to clear up. Okay, that's what we're going to do to that one. That's the one with the... That's this one. It should have been 10% alcohol. It did not reach 10% alcohol. If I do the math, let me add that up real quick. We can do it together. Y'all can help me, okay? So it said it started at 1.080. It ended at 1.020. Y'all got that? And then we take that. So we go there, right? And then we take 135 times 60. 0. What that is? 30. Wait. Yeah, that's 30. That's 18. 19, 21. 6, 7, 8. It's like 8%. I think it's 8%. Did I do that right, y'all? So I'm supposed to take this and subtract from there. Yeah. And that leaves 60. And then I times that 135. I got to make sure I did I do that right? 135. That's 0. That's 30. 18, 19, 21. Put the 2, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it came up to 8%. Okay. So this is at 8%. It's a little higher than beer, but it's yeah, it's a low and it's sweet. Okay. So this is 8%. I gotta write that down so I can know if I decide to make a label for hibiscus. I added a... Oh, no, wait. Okay, so let me show you how I did it. So what happened was, this might be... Yeah, it started here. And it went here. And I added sugar to it, and it stayed there. So, yeah. So this is 8% wine. Okay. This is 8% wine. Okay. We're going to put some, we're going to do that in a minute. We're going to kill off that yeast, and we're going to stop that, and we're going to let that sit for a while. So I'm going to move that one out my way. This one is still fermentating. This one, I didn't write down what the potential percentages, but if I do the adding, right? This one is still fermentating. I keep saying fermenting. Where is the word? It started at 1.100, which, if I'm correct, let me see what that is. It's somewhere like 12%. This is, yeah, it started at 1.1, and I've done no other gravity readings. I added nothing to it. It's just was slow, and I didn't add any sugar. I just put some yeast in it, more yeast, because the yeast was dead, and then you can see it fermenting. If you look real closely, wait a minute. I gotta put it where you can see it, huh? You can see the action in it. It is a slow firm. It's slow and made. I don't know why this one is slower than the others, because I did this and that Welch's at the same time. But I did use regular bread yeast in that Welch's, and then I used that wine yeast that came with that wine kit, which that's why I gave them a 1 star. I gave them a 1 star in that wine kit. They sent me dead yeast, you see, and then on top of that, what else? I had a few problems. The bag that they sent was ridiculous in that kit. It was like 4 different things that I listed. I did do a review on Amazon, okay? Don't buy that kit. Don't buy that kit, okay? Because imagine if this would have been blueberry or so. I went out and bought a whole lot of fresh grapes, and I started this wine, and I used what they told me I should. They told me everything I needed was in that box, which was everything was in that box. It's just that the stuff was dead. And if I had put that dead yeast on some grapes and let it sit there like a beginner, hoping that it would start working, wondering what's going on. It's a good thing that I do a lot of research before I start a hobby. So I kind of, when I was going, looking at it, shaking it up every day, noticing that it wasn't doing anything. I also know a lot about yeast because I'm a baker. And so I was like, well, something is wrong here. Like, everything when I used the baker's yeast, it was working on the other ones. But when I used the wine yeast that was provided, it wasn't doing anything. I also, I realized this was hibiscus. Hibiscus is a leaf, right? A flower. And so I looked into whether I should add the tannins and things like that. So I did. I added the acid blend. I even added the yeast nutrient. The pectin enzyme, I wasn't sure if I should add that, but I did, right? And then I put in a handful of raisins. And on this one, it stalled. It started smelling like poopy. I was like, it smelled like poop. Like, what's going on? So I did some research again. I remember seeing a couple of videos where people were saying it has the smell bad. But most people say that's okay. But then in the very beginning, they were like, hey, if you have a certain type of smell, maybe something's going on with your yeast. Your yeast is stressed or dead. And so I didn't decide to take the yeast and try to bloom it. And it was literally dead. It didn't even make one bubble. Okay? No, they lucky that it was just this, because I said if I had to pour this out, it's just hibiscus. I have a lot of it. Okay? And it's hibiscus. This is what hibiscus look like. It's flowers. Okay? But I'm not happy about that kit. Okay? There's actually, yeah. Then, yeah, just don't buy that kit. Don't buy that kit. Don't buy that kit, y'all. They're going to have to pay me to tell people to buy that kit. And then they're going to have to assure me that nothing's going to be dead in it. Like, if the yeast would have been good at least, but the yeast was dead. They pounding off old yeast to people. Okay, so what we going to do with this one? We're going to test this one. It's fermenting. I don't think I'm going to do anything with this right now. It's still fermenting. Okay. I'm going to let it do its thing. We're going to keep it where it's at and let it until it stops. When it stops, then I'll take a reading and decide if I got to back sweeten it. Okay? Don't worry about the date. I know it's been a while. Its fermentation should have been stopped, but everything was late. It started on the 8th. 11th is when I think I did some correcting. I didn't even write down when I did correcting. What date did I do correcting? It looked like I didn't do the correcting until like May 16th. Yeah, I gotta write that. So we gotta officially say this didn't start until like May 16th. So that would put it, about a week? May 16th is when I fixed problem. Okay, we got that on there. So So we're gonna let this one. I'm gonna put this. Make sure your tops. If you're doing it the way I'm doing it, this is called the pour way. I'm poor. I'm poor. We pour together. Okay. If you're doing it the pour way, which means you're using, because you do not listen. There's a lot of videos, y'all, and it tells you that you need to buy carboys. You got to have airlocks. You got to have this, that, and the third. Listen to me. You do not. Only if you're going to get into really getting this into a hobby where you really, you know what I mean? Like you want these bottles of wine and you're going to cherish them and things. You know what I mean? Maybe start giving them out or however, whatever, right? Sell them. I don't know. Don't get me the line. Okay, I'm trying to figure out a way to sell. But anyway, otherwise you just need a jug, right? You need a jug. You need to maybe keep your scrubby brush to keep them clean and stuff like that. A top that fits, but you don't even have to have a top. You can have a cheesecloth with a rubber band. People say they even use gloves. Like I have some gloves that you put on there with a rubber band. You don't need a lot of money. Okay? You don't need a lot of money to make wine. Now, if you start getting into wanting to make wines to compete and stuff like that, then maybe you want to care about that kind of stuff. You also don't need a lot of these things. There's some things you will need. Pectin, enzymes. There will be some things you're going to find that you're going to need, but it doesn't cost a lot, right? And that's going to be the nutrients and the enzymes, the Camden tablet, things to keep things on a sterile, okay? When you start getting into that, but yeah, no. Alcohol kills lots of things, in case y'all did not know. Okay, a lot of people, they tell you to be worried about this, that, and the third. But what they don't tell you is that they've never had any of those issues. In fact, I'm even seeing videos where people are debunking a lot of the things by trying to purposely ruin their wine, right? And then even when they ruin the wine in one way, it ends up turning into a whole nother thing. Adding oxygen into red wine turns it into a different type of wine that people drink. Stuff like that. That's what I'm starting to realize. I'm starting to learn. Okay? But anyway, this is a good hobby to have if you like fruits, if you like alcohol. And you don't have to spend a lot of money in the beginning. Do it the way I'm doing it. With bottles. And listen, the reason I got these bottles because I drink a lot of juice. Okay? All these juice bottles are mine. Okay, I drink at least one of these every 2 days. Hubby's buy me Arizona tea juices, 100%. Well, I don't like that Welch's juice. They lucky that turned into wine and it tastes different, because that, it's the church fault. Okay, they told me that was blood of Christ. That's what they told me, and now every time I taste Welch's grapefruit juice, it tastes like the blood of Christ. I don't want it. I don't want it. Okay? But anyway, so what we're going to do with this one, we're going to continue letting this do what it do. This is the one that I'm concerned with right now. So I'm going to put these two back. Okay. There's only one thing I'm going to warn y'all about when you're doing this in these bottles, okay? Every day, I mean every time you go into your, wherever the space, you need to go there every day and make sure that you didn't put this top on or somebody didn't come in. Like yesterday I came down and I grabbed, it wasn't this one, it was this one. It was this one. And one of the red ones. I came down and when I looked at it, I went to grab it and it was swole. Like it wasn't even, it was wobbling like this. I was like, oh my goodness. And I turned it and the air, see, like just air just escaped. That means I had it on too tight. You just, sometimes you may not even realize you have it on too tight. Okay? But you don't want that H2O, whatever, to because this will turn into a bomb. In other words, when I say a bomb, it's not a bomb that's going to blow your house up, okay? That's not the type of bomb I'm talking about. It would blow up, and then you would have to get all this stuff out of your kitchen or wherever you have it. That's what kind of bomb I mean, okay? I think when I say bomb, I think people be thinking it's dangerous. No, it's not that type of bomb. What happened is the container would swell till under pressure, and then bam, it would just, explode like that. Just make sure your tops, okay? Like this one, just every day, just if you do it this way, just make sure that you release. And if that's all. Because yesterday, I was upset. I was like, who did this? Now, the truth is, I may have done it. Because nobody really touched my stuff that I know of anyway, okay? So the way I test it, if I press like this, see how that's holding? See that? I had that on too tight. Did y'all notice that? Like, it's really not on tight at all. I did one tight. And see, if that nothing can go in, that means nothing can go out. That means it's too tight. And so I got to put it on lightly. The only way it's on there, the only reason it's on there is so no bugs get in. You could really just sit it on top. You could just sit it on top like that. Just sit it on top. Bam. And you'll be good. And see, when you squeeze, it'll never squeeze that much. You ain't got to worry about it. But yeah, just put it on top. Okay? And you'll be good. I wanted to blame somebody in the house, but it probably was me. It probably was me. This is the one we're going to take care of. We're going to rack this one. See how I keep, when I move it, I do tighten it so it won't waste. But then I must have forgotten to untighten it when I did it. Okay. This is water. Regular water, sugar, and yeast. Oh, and a little lemon juice. I put lemon juice in it. That's why the off color. Lemon juice. Okay. I have 2 of those. Okay, I guess y'all gonna see me rack this. What am I racking this in? This is less than a gallon. I have to make sure I have less here space. I think I have another bottle just like this. And then, but I can taste this. Wait, was it sweet? Did it end up as sweet? Did I test this already? I did, didn't I? Yeah, it didn't stay at, I'm confused. Did I test this, y'all? I didn't test that, which I don't have to. Did I test this? I think I did test this. Yeah, and I think it was still at the 1 point, which I don't think I tested this. Okay, let's do it. I don't remember. We're going to do it now. The only reason I'm testing it because if I have to back sweeten it, then I can put it in a gallon. Because I'm going to end up adding like sugar, water. You know what I mean? And I might be able to get a gallon. But if it's sweetened already, then I'm not going to touch it. I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, I'm new to this too. Now, don't be thinking I'm a pro over here. I'm not no pro. Okay? Take my advice. We can do these things together. Okay? We do this together. If you need for some advice, though, from somebody who know what they're doing, there's a few YouTubers who I would recommend. They got this couple that I love on here. And there's this other guy, DIY, fermentation DIY, something like that. City something. I'll give y'all the names, but these people are great. There's a few. And then I found a new guy who do it the old way, like he do it, keep it more real. Yeah, I did test this, right? Because it's at 1 point. Yeah, it's my fault. I should have took note, put the date on it. and it's still at there. So I did test this. And did I taste it though? I don't think I tasted it. Did I? I gotta get something else to taste it. Ooh, that's strong. Ooh, but it tastes good though. It really tastes good. So I did sweeten it. Y'all, to say I don't like alcohol, that it tastes good. I like, first of all, I'm a sweet person. Now I remember doing this exact thing that I'm doing right now. So I'm not going to be adding any sweetener or anything to it. So I definitely need... Okay, I know I have one of these upstairs. Y'all give me a second. I got to go get it. Okay. I know I had a smaller one yesterday. Okay, y'all, it's the same one. It's that same size. Wait, let me see what that is, 90. Yeah, I have a couple of those. Okay, I'm gonna use that one. But I had one that was a tad smaller. Just a little bit smaller. I had it yesterday. And you know, my family, they do things. What do? They like to throw my stuff away. They be thinking, oh, why she got this? Why she got that? It look like trash to them. Okay? I bet you ain't that a blimp? Ain't that? This is a whole blimp out here, baby. I'm ready to whip everybody. Okay? My son get on my nerve. Okay? I'm gonna beat everybody. They're playing with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me, baby. Oh, I found it. I was about to go wild on the whole household, but I'm the one who moved it. And this is this Juicy Juice. This 64, that's 96. I think this will be a safe bet racking into this. Okay, so I'm gonna wash this out real quick. sterilize it. Now, mind you, when it comes to these bottles, right, you can't use them too many times, okay? I learned that years ago with water bottles, okay? You okay, babe? Okay, so I just put some more hot water in it. I'm going to shake it up, okay? Which I had already done. I've already sterilized this bottle, okay? That's why I was over there. That's why I didn't know where it was. It was sitting over there with my bottles. Let me just, and I'm going to rack this into this to get it off the leaves, okay? I usually would keep the label if I was making a cherry. If I was using this juice to make it, I would keep this and put it on the bottles. But I don't need that. We're gonna cut that off. And then you can reach my knife. Well, let me see if you don't want it in the dishwasher. Yeah, I need a knife there. Just a little one to cut this off. There. Very cool. Now, so I had the, once I realized I was going to rack, I put the tubing and the cane racker in the solution here in this red bucket that I have here. So it's been sanitized. The thing that I'm racking into and the thing that I'm racking from, they need to be different in height. Okay, so let's see. We're going to use a few different things here so y'all can see it actually get racked. I could use this to sit that on. Yeah, you could put this up like that and put this here. Oh, you gotta get in there. Go ahead. Okay, we're gonna put that there, y'all. I'm gonna put this one here so y'all can see how this is done. I have a shorter. Let me go find my shorter one. That one's too long. I don't want to use that. Even though it's easier though. Okay, let's see. So we have some tubing. I have long tubing and shorter tubing. We're going to use the shorter tubing because we don't have a long way to go. This should be my shorter tubing. So this is the shorter tubing, okay? Well, we're going to put that in there. Okay, yeah. How many, baby? You ain't cutting up for me, huh? I get it. Right. Thank you, babe. Mm-hmm. You want to take this wine? Mm-hmm. Okay. We don't want to make no mistakes. We don't want nothing to waste. Okay. Okay, so this is the auto siphon. I know people don't really show you putting this stuff together, okay? This stuff could be a lot. Okay? Look, when you seen them do their videos, it be just so simple because it's already be prepared. You see how hard it is? This is what came in that wine kit, by the way. This came in that wine kit. You'll see that? I have to force this on. And talking about getting it off. Oh my goodness. Now I bought some tubing that's longer, and it's a little wider. It's a little more comfortable getting on and off. This crap that came in that kit though, and on top of that, it's short. Like if I was racking from something that's on the counter and the floor, this tubing that they give in that kit does not work. Okay, it's too short. So yeah, that's why. Now, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put. This is where the juice is gonna go. I'm gonna back it up. I'm okay with this falling. I just don't want that juice, the wine, to fall up there. Okay, we're gonna back you up a little bit. Look, I'm trying, y'all, so y'all can see. Okay, but I don't want to make a big mess. And by the way, I'm always making a mess. I just want you to know. Don't look. YouTube and the secrets. Do I have that cap on? I have a cap on the siphon. Okay. We're going to start this by pumping. A couple of pumps. Oh, come on. There you go. Oh, man. I don't want that to fall. Y'all can't see me, right? Because, you know, I ain't got on no clothes, y'all. Let me know if y'all can see me now. Don't hold me out like that. Don't put me out on the front street like that, okay? There we go. There it go. There it go. And now I could just let it rock and roll. It was easy. The only thing was problem, I don't want to waste, I don't want to drop neither one of these, okay? This is not really on a stable area. We're going to see how much I get. I think I probably could have racked into the one that was equal. I should stop this. It's going pretty fast, you see it? No hands needed. But it's definitely not half that yet. I just can't see the leaves. I'm not sure. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. See the bottom? You can't see. So I don't know how much leaves is there and what is it isn't there. And that's why I took a chance on going much smaller. Now when it's time to stop this, what am I going to do with the extra? Well, to be honest, what I'm going to do with the extra, I'm going to put it in a wine bottle for my son to drink. If there's enough, I think I might be able to fill up a wine bottle and he'll drink it. We're going to let this clear. Okay, we're gonna pull this up. I still have a little more that I could put in there, but I want to see what's in that. Let me look in this jug. That's a hefty amount. Yeah, that's a good amount of alcohol in here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna rack this in this. I could rack it back in here. Just rinse out the leaves and put it back in here. But this is the same one. It's just that I need to clean it out. Let me rinse this out real quick. Need the hot water. Okay, we're gonna rack the rest of this in here. And then we'll take that and rack it in here if we need to. I'm gonna just do it from here to here. See if I can get it to work. Is it high enough? Nope, not high enough. I need you to be, I need gravity, okay? Gravity is my friend. But, yeah, gravity is my friend. Come on, gravity. No, I gotta hold it like this, I guess. Come on. Ah, nope. Let's see. Now, let me tell you, the guy who I was telling you who do it the old way, oh gosh, the old way, he don't worry about all this stuff I'm worried about. So all this, he uses his mouth to suck on the thing, you know what I mean? All that other stuff people be, and he been saying he been making wire for 40 years. Okay, here we go, it's working now. It's doing good, y'all. It's doing good. Until I can see that leads, I don't know what I'm working with. I do have the cap on, so it won't grab that stuff at the bottom. And it's not sitting at the bottom. I've seen him just put his stuff in, like take a cup and scoop it through a strainer into the bottles. That's, you know what I mean? I've seen him do all that, especially once the alcohol is made. I think that's what he was saying. Like once the alcohol is made, there's some things you don't have to worry about. Oh yeah, okay, that go to Lee's. Okay, I see it. It's not that much, but yeah. Okay, cool. I'm gonna show y'all what I ended up getting out of that. Let's put this over here and put this in the bucket. Okay. So this is what I ended up getting out of that. So I could rack this back in here because the leaves was only that. You see that? And what that is that's the yeast, y'all. The yeast that died. You can see it. You see the yeast at the bottom down that cake? You don't want to keep that on that too long. So I'm going to rack this to this. In some cases, it'd be a lot of leaves. It could be a whole lot more than that. And because I couldn't tell, that's why I didn't know. So yeah, this is racking here and it'd be good. Good. It'd be good. So I'm racking this into here. Let's put you here. Let's put you here. Nah, that's too. That's not gonna work. That might fall. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the solution. Okay, so you go in here, and you go in here. I could take the cap off now, to be honest. Come on, there you go. Come on, work, 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 work. Come on. Get your air out. Come on. There you go. Okay, so anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the thing. I see jail people be making book using plastic bags in a bucket, fruit peels and bread, I think. Yes, they do, King Rooster. They call it hooch, but it is wine. They call it it's wine like wine is made. They flavors don't be as good because they don't have as much fruit or things like that. They don't have honey to make it into a mead. So, but yeah, so you're right. So listen, Linda. Y'all should make some. You don't need to go buy no whole lot of fruit. Just go buy a fruit juice. A fruit juice. This wine tastes good. Y'all, I don't drink. I like fruity things though. I like fruit juices. I like strawberry. You know, I like, but I don't like alcohol. And the thing is though, I've never found the alcohol that I actually like. I could taste the alcohol, even in this what I made, I could taste the alcohol. But you can then, when you're making your own, you can make it taste how you want. You know what I mean? So the dangers to this wine here, first of all, I can turn this from the 15%, which I don't know what the percentage of this is. I think it's higher than 15%. I didn't do the calculations yet, but I can, right? I definitely know it's 15 and above. I know that to be a fact, okay? It started out 15%, it went dry, and then I added more sugar, and it went dry again. Well, no, it didn't go dry again. It went down a few points again. So we might be somewhere at 18 to 20%. If I'm at 20%, I can show you how to make this 40%. If it's at 15%, I can show you how to make it 30%, right? It's kind of, the process is called destilling, right? And you can do it right there in your kitchen. I have a little more in here. I'm gonna just pour it in here. It's clear. This will turn into a very clear wine with time. Give it a couple of more weeks. But if I want to clear it up in just a couple of days, there's something I will add to it. I do have the chemical to do it, but I'm not. I'm gonna let it do it naturally. Look at that. I only lost a little bit. That hit. It smells good. Okay. Now the fermentation has stopped. I am gonna still keep it loose. This has fully fermented to its death, to the death of the yeast. The yeast have died because the alcohol content has did its thing. It surpassed to where it can survive. I really don't have to worry about keeping an airlock on here, but I can put an airlock on here and just let it age. Okay. I don't have an airlock that, I do have, no, I don't have an airlock that fits this one. I do have an airlock that fits that smaller one though, but not this one. But tomorrow I'm ordering them tonight. I should have them tomorrow where I will be able to put airlocks on these bottles. Okay. But until then, I'm going to keep it light. And then every once in a while, I'll come and make sure that no gases are, but I shouldn't have any gases or anything concerned with this. Now, there is a little head space that could be concerning, but I don't think so. Okay. If you can, you could get it to go as high as you can. As high up as you can. You can fortify it with some more alcohol. I know people do that. I'm not doing that. Why would I buy alcohol if I'm making alcohol? Like, that don't... To me, it makes no sense. This is how much I lost. See that little tiny little bit? And the reason I don't want it is because look underneath. You see underneath the cake? That's the yeast. Okay? and that's called lees. And you don't want your wine sitting on that too long, because if it does, it can start taking those flavors of the yeast and it gives it like an off flavor. Right now, this tastes real fresh. Yeah, it tastes really good. Now, I'm not a wine connoisseur, okay? Somebody else might taste this and be like, this tastes good for me, okay? It's drinkable for me. And what am I going to do with that? I'm going to pour that out. Oh, but I heard that I could have kept that and made wine vinegar for your food, okay? But I don't have time for that. Hubby keeps saying I keep grabbing too many hobbies at one time. I have some sewing that I need to do. I just bought some fabrics that have been sitting up there. Then I bought some things dealing with this. When I'm dealing with this, I'm not dealing with that. When I'm dealing with that, I'm not dealing with this. And it's getting to be a whole lot. Okay, so Bomb got to slow her roll. And she going to let y'all know that we're going to check on this in a couple of days. Now, I'm not going to use no chemicals. That's the good thing about making your own wine. You don't have to use chemicals. Like, some people get sick from wine. You ever got sick, like you drunk some wine, you got a headache? It's not because of the fruit, right? It's natural fruit with some sugars, which comes from sugar cane, right? All natural stuff. But when you buy wine, they have to stabilize it. They have to make sure, and there's a lot of sulfites and things in it. And that is what gives people headaches. You make your own, now you in a whole, you be shocked, okay? And listen, I'm going to auction off, not auction, what is it called? It's not auctioning. Auctioning means people pay, no. You know, when I have people put their name in a thing and pick, and when I make this going to be a peanut butter jelly wine. Not all of it. Peanut butter jelly wine. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. That's what I'm going to do with some of this wine right here. And I'm going to give away a bottle. Now, no, I can't sell wine, but I can surely give it away, baby. And I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do that. Okay, how am I going to choose what the people got to do in order to win peanut butter jelly wine. And then the banana wine, it's going to be a while for that one. But so if I find that they come out tasting good. The reason I'm making this one a peanut butter jelly, this is the easiest wine to make. This was from Welch's Grapefruit Juice, y'all. This was from Concord Grape Juice. This one took no time at all because I didn't have to do a whole lot with it. I really just put some few things in it and let it set there a couple of weeks. This wine is only, it's not even a month old yet. I started it on the 7th. See that? So it's a young wine. We give it a couple of months, and the flavors will develop into something else. But I'm gonna add peanut butter flavor to this. Okay. See how hazy that is? This is a young wine that stalled on me. I'm gonna put the sulfites in this in a few minutes. So I do have to put sulfites in that one, right? I don't have to, like I can probably shake it up and fermentation and start again, but I like it where it is. So I'm gonna kill off the yeast, and I can either put sulfites in it or I could pasteurize it. And I could pasteurize it. I do have a jug, a 1 gallon jug, put it in some water and pasteurize it. And that'll kill off the yeast as well. That's natural without using chemicals. I'm thinking about, should I do that? I might do that. If I do that, I'll do it tomorrow so y'all can see me do that. I think I am. But I'm not going to use any chemicals in that one either. I'm going to kill off the yeast. I'm going to do it with some pasteurization. I'll show y'all how to do that tomorrow. My phone is about to die, so we're going to get off of here. I hope y'all enjoyed these videos. Listen, I really am trying to convince you to do what I do. Like, do it. Try it. Listen, even if you don't drink wine, to know how to ferment something into something drinkable is a skill that maybe you might need one day. It's a scientific, to me, it's all science, to be honest. I don't drink alcohol. And y'all can see this. This was, yeah. This is high in alcohol, but you can't really taste it. When I inhale, I taste the wine. The alcohol. On the inhale, I feel like a heat. I can smell it, most definitely. I can smell the alcohol. Oh no, it simmered down. And originally, like a week ago, this was very strong alcoholic smell. Right now, it's not. Right now, it smells like grape, but not Welch's. If I didn't know, I wouldn't have never guessed this was Welch's juice. Okay, because it does not taste the same. I mean, smell the same. It don't even taste the same, but it doesn't smell the same neither. Okay. When you make your own wine, you can add anything you want to it. You can add some mint in here. You know, add a cinnamon stick in there. You can add some wood in there. Wood, yes. You can add some oak to that. All types of different woods give different flavors through the time. But I'm going to add peanut butter extract. And then I'm going to bottle that up in a few months. But we're going to come back and we'll watch this in a couple of weeks. We'll see as it clears up. Okay? It'll clear up on its own. Tomorrow or in the next couple of days, I will pasteurize the one wine. We watching fermentation because I got to hurry up and do this because let me get this stuff out the way. Okay, get this stuff out the way. This is a pot. This is the blueberry. And you could actively see the fermentation. You can see them bubbles. You can see those bubbles going, baby. And you could, if you look up here in the airlock, you can see some bubbling going on. This is the, it's still fermenting. Okay, it hasn't stopped. This one, I'm going to continue to feed it until it stops fermentation naturally. I forgot. Did I do the math on this? This is going to be like almost a 20% if it zeroes out. If it don't zero out, it'll fall somewhere in between 17% maybe, depending, okay? But we're going to see. We're going to keep feeding it. I think they call it step feeding. I'm going to keep feeding it until it can go no more. And what yeast did I use on this? I'm shocked it's still going. Cause I think I used bread yeast with this. When did I start this? I think I used bread yeast when I did this, y'all. Which is shocking. Cause it did zero out on the 22nd. It did go dry. I added 3 more cups of sugar to it for taste. Hoping that if it dies, it'll still be sweet. It was at 12%. It zeroed out. I added more sugar. And that was on the 22nd. Oh, that's just a couple of days ago. Okay. We're going to sit this one. We're going to let this one, we're going to let this one clear. We're going to watch this go clear. We're going to give it like a couple of months. But as soon as it stops fermenting, then y'all going to see me rack it again into another container to get it off its leaves as well. Now, it had some leaves in the bucket. It wasn't much, actually, which was shocking to me. Now that I think about it, because this was fresh fruit, well, dried fruit. The only reason I took it out the bucket because I needed it. I needed the bucket, okay, for the banana wine. And that's the only reason I took it out. I would have left it there. Okay. I'm going to buy me another bucket. I think I'm going to get me a larger bucket, maybe a 5-gallon bucket, and go from there. It has to be food grade because I do have a 5-gallon bucket, but they're not food grade. I thought I bought some food grade buckets though. When I was doing my gardening in the buckets. Huh. They probably are over there. I'm gonna have to look. Okay. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. I hope y'all enjoyed yourself. Look, I'll be going live tomorrow sometime. I forgot today was Monday. Hubby is sick, so we slept. Okay. I was up all night watching him, and then I slept during the day. He slept during the day and the night. I could hear his heart beating. Like I could literally, he's on side of me, and I hear his heart going boom, boom, boom. And I'm telling him, like, why is it that I hear your heart? And he won't listen, y'all. He won't listen. He going to the hospital. He going to the doctors tomorrow. Okay. Even if I had to take him by gunpoint, if I had to put a gun and say, look, we going. Okay. He going tomorrow. He's not gonna be playing with me. Playing with me. Kind of stuff this is. Can't be playing with me like this. I gotta clean all of this stuff. That's the aftermath of making wine. Or any hobby you got. The cleanup. See y'all later. Okay. How do I end this thing again?